Hello, welcome back to my Keto Doc. I'm your host, Dr. Mike. Wanted to talk to you about a very important subject, and one I feel that has been overlooked a lot or even made fun of in recent times because whenever somebody has a weight problem, right, in the past, or they have problem dropping weight, they say, "Oh, I have a thyroid problem." And that's kind of what used to be a running joke. Oh, you just have a thyroid problem. Yeah, everybody's got a thyroid problem, right? Well, let's examine that a little bit closer now because the thyroid has come under attack lately. And in particular, your thyroid, even if you go to the doctor and get a thyroid panel, get a thyroid test done, and it comes back normal, it might very well not be normal. And here's what I mean. If they don't test specifically for something called T3 or reverse T3, let me be specific. It's called reverse T3. And what happens is, well, first of all, the T3 is the active hormone in the thyroid. I have T1, 2, 3, and 4. T3 is the one we're looking for. And basically, what happens is when you brush your teeth, right, the fluoride that's in your toothpaste blocks the receptor of the T3 site. So in other words, like the Goldilocks and the Three Bears, remember she comes home, who ate my porridge, who's sleeping in my bed type thing. Someone's already there before you get there, or your T3 gets there in this case, and that somebody is fluoride. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and get rid of our fluoride toothpaste. That's right. And we want to go ahead and get non-fluoridated toothpaste, something like Jason's or Tom's of Maine. I mean, check closely on Tom's because they were the first ones to come out with the fluoride. And now that I noticed that the other day, they'd actually put some back in. I don't know what happened there. Hello, Tom's. But you might want to double check that. If you say, well, how am I going to keep my teeth strong? Well, fellow keto people, my community, my followers, and my friends, you should not have an issue with rotten teeth or hardened teeth or teeth getting soft or getting loose because you're in ketosis. The main problems with teeth that aren't hard, that get soft, that get loose, that get cavities, those would be teeth that are under the sugar burners because sugar breaks down into acid, and the acid is what actually rots your teeth. Okay, so we should not have a part in that. And just a little side note, if you do have loose teeth though, you could do something called oil pooling, and that's with our MCT oil, or rather our coconut oil. You want to take the coconut oil, take a tablespoon, put it in your mouth, swish it between your teeth, right, back and forth for about a minute. Do that for a few days. You're going to notice that your loose teeth aren't loose anymore. Yay! So coming back on point, that's the first offender to the thyroid. The fact that you have somebody sleeping in the T3 bed, that somebody is either going to be fluoride, which we just talked about, or it's going to be soy, which we didn't talk about. Soy is not a good thing. Too much of that, especially the way they make even the tofu today, especially the soy milk. Yeah, don't get the soy milk. Try cashew milk. How about coconut milk? Since we're in ketosis anyways, coconut almond is even a nice blend. But we want to stay away from the soy. Lastly, hydrogenated oils affect the T3 receptor as well. Hydrogenated oils, what are those? Those are things like peanut butter, potato chips, pretzels, even hot dog buns and hamburger buns. You got to check the label, look real close, stay away from the hydrogenated oil. It takes away from your T3, makes your thyroid hypoactive, and then you can't get into ketosis or you can't lose weight when you're in ketosis. So, lastly, I want to talk about, this is a huge one. I want to turn over here to the television screen right here. I just typed in Fukushima nuclear disaster. You're going to see one of the first things that comes up. Fukushima nuclear meltdown, cover up. Radiation highest ever recorded, 300 tons into Pacific daily. What are they talking about? Well, if you remember back in 2011, they had a meltdown in Japan. Now, before I go any further, let's not blame Japan because did they put up the nuclear reactor? Someone called General Electric. Oops. GE did that. GE made the nuclear power plant. And what happened was 3 of the reactors breached. That means they lost, they opened up. And the radiation that came out of them is called MOXIE radiation, MOXI. If you want to Google that. You're going to notice a couple things. One, the MOXIE radiation has a half-life of 25,000 years. Why is that important? Because you or I are not going to outlive 25,000 years. Okay, so we need to protect our thyroid because now this disaster is called a lifetime disaster, meaning they're not planning on cleaning it up. meaning that the reactors are now down in a cavern where fresh water is washing over them, which is a good thing. But the bad thing is the fresh water goes out into the sea, into the Pacific Ocean. Oh, yeah. And if you're worried about the amount, the last recorded levels they had were 600 sieverts. For those techie people out there that want to know, well, how bad can it be? Well, to put it in perspective for you, 600 sieverts is one sievert is 1,000,000 rads. And a rad is a recommended radiation allowed dosages, right? How much radiation you're allowed during the course of a year. And that's 1,000,000 of them. And I got news: you're not allowed 1,000,000 rads. You couldn't live through 1,000,000 rads. You would die. We would all die if we were exposed to 1,000,000 rads of radiation. So there is over 600 now, like I said, that's been recorded. It's now flushing the sea. It doesn't have to do with me and you. Well, they actually measured MOXIE, that type of radiation, in Kansas. They measured the MOXIE radiation in Kansas, which means what? If it hasn't crossed over where you're at now in California through Kansas coming to Georgia where we are. So what we need to do then is protect our thyroid gland with iodine. Right? We want to take a water-based iodine, not alcohol. We're not made out of alcohol. We're made out of alkaline water. So that's what we want our iodine to be able to dissolve in. It takes a very special process to do that. But if you look up Lugel's iodine, it's available on Amazon. You want to get yourself a bottle, take a few drops a day, every day for the rest of your life. Wow, that's a long time, isn't it? Yeah, and so is 25,000 years. Go figure. So just a heads up. Hopefully you found that good information, helpful information for not just you and your family, but maybe you want to subscribe and share this to other people. They want to know this as well. So we got this kind of information coming out each show. We're going to talk about it because we're in this journey together, right? Family, we're in this journey together. I want you all to come along with me. If you'll allow me, I'll be your coach. I'll be your guide. We'll learn off each other as we go through here. I want to read all the comments that you guys give me. I will not ignore them now. I will read them. I'll do my best to answer each and every one of them. And so, welcome to the journey called the ketogenic lifestyle. Till next time, I'm your host, Dr. Mike. We'll see you then.